Hi. I had two emails come in back to back, and they both had similar questions, different scenario, but both of them were about their FSH levels. And I kind of want to combine the two, tell you what they were, and then answer this. Because one woman had been taking the formulas for a month. She is working with her doctor. She took the formulas. Her FSH was 100, a certain level. She took the formulas for a month, went in and tested, and the FSH had gone up. And so she was totally thinking that it was the herbs that made her FSH go up. I can tell you right now, these herbs cannot make FSH go up, but that's okay. The second one was she was working with a doctor, and the doctor, I think, didn't want her taking herbs. And so she was taking the herbs, and her FSH, she was trying to say, the doctor wants me to take the herbs that'll bring the FSH down. And I need to bring the FSH down, and the levels aren't where they're supposed to be. These are not drugs. First of all, they will not make FSH go up. So that doctor didn't think that it was making it go up, but he wanted her not to take them. Some doctors recommend people to us. They have seen when people take these programs for not a month, but over time, 6 months, even a year, that all of a sudden, someone who had come in before and had no eggs have eggs. Someone who didn't have a menses has a menses, and that they can now try to do some of those reproductive procedures. But it's important to understand that FSH is not the reason you can't get pregnant. FSH is a symptom. It's the doctor tests the things that are above the line, shows up above the ground where he can test it. And FSH is one of them. But the root cause, it's a sign. It's a sign that something underneath the ground is not in order. It's not balanced. And so when you work with our program, what you're working with is subclinical and a subclinical analysis. You're helping your body to have more energy. You cannot heal without energy. Does the doctor ever ask you, do you have energy or not? And what time of the day do you have that energy? No. And people who have not so much big stress events, but chronic, everyday stress in their life. So you have the fatigue and the chronic stress. And over time, this builds up. It builds up and it makes it so you come home at night and you want to spend time with your children and you just don't have the energy for it. You and your husband don't talk to each other as much as you used to because you don't quite have the energy. And then sometimes you get upset over something that you know you didn't need to get upset about. I mean, it's that stress and fatigue that causes the biggest issue when it comes to FSH. And they do have research. The National Institute of Health has more than one research a study that shows that stress has the raising of the cortisol in the body, which we all know creates more inflammation and more stress. And we all know, that raising of cortisol affects all of our hormones. It definitely affects the FSH and makes it go up. Also, if you've been taking treatments with the doctor, those treatments will create more FSH. Because what does FSH mean? Follicle stimulating hormone. It's not something that's relaxed. It's like, it's the body is sending signals that it's overstimulated, that it's stressed. So with our system doing that, taking these incredibly deep nutritious herbs that have been used honestly for thousands of years to help people get pregnant. And over those years, they would take that formula and they would add a little here, take a little out of there. So it's like clinical studies. They would take it and they would make it better, and then they would make it better. And they would make it safer. So these are very safe, very gentle, but deeply nutritious, giving the body what it needs to see more sexual fluids, more cervical mucus, to see better quality eggs, to see these things happen. there wasn't scientific research back then, but now there's a lot of research that's being done on some of these Asian formulas. But anyway, they have that deep nutrition of the herbs, and now you need to absorb it better. That's your digestive system. So that's why you'll hear us talking about the gut a lot. So you need to be able to absorb it, and you need to be able to activate it. Get that nutrition and create more energy out of it so that you can have all the changes that you're looking for. But you know, what you're doing is you're working with the Queen Mary basic instead of, or one of those big cruise ships, other great big cruise ships, instead of like a little motorboat. If you have a little speedboat, doop, 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 you can make changes quickly. That's more the Western drugs. You have a stuffy nose, you go to the pharmacy, you get an antihistamine, you can breathe again. Doesn't build your health, but it affects that thing they wanted to have affected. But with Queen Mary, you can't move it fast. It won't move like that. So it takes time to get it to turn the way you want it to go. But once you get it turned, it doesn't come back. It doesn't flip back all the time. You don't feel like you're going backwards and not forwards. And where are you going? And back and forth, back and forth. You don't feel that way because your body now is strong enough and going in another direction. That's why you can do something like I did with eczema, taking the herbs for eczema, the anti-inflammation formula, and then at the same time changing my diet. And I couldn't eat potatoes, and I didn't eat any potatoes. And then when I ate them 3 months later, I got the eczema again. So I waited 6 months. After 6 months, I got them, but not very much. After 8 months, I could eat potatoes again. My body was strong enough to be able to do it, but it took me time. But for many, many years, off and on, I'd be on that steroid cream trying to get rid of my eczema. Well, when it's fertility and you get your body to that point, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect on all lines. If your body feels you're moving in that direction, there's a certain point where it'll just go, oh, she's got this, and you'll just get pregnant. But when you get to that point where you do have that kind of feeling of vibrant health and calmness and happiness inside, which comes as part of this system, then what happens is you get pregnant. And then when you finish, you have to be really careful because you'll get pregnant again. Nobody listens to me when I say that. And I can't tell you how many pictures I have of people who had a child and then had their next child within a year after the first one was born. So your body goes, we know how to do this now, and it'll just start making other babies. So there's not a guarantee that you get pregnant, but there's a guarantee that you will be way healthier reproductive wise, or way healthier with your fingers for your eczema than you were before. You'll be able to have more choices, because really when you're tired and you have chronic stress, you don't have a lot of choices. You think the doctor is a choice, but the doctor is going to give you an IVF, see how many drugs you can tolerate, and then go on and give you another one and another one. And in between, maybe take a month's break, which is not enough for your body. There's a YouTube video that I made, The Truth About AMH and FSH, on our YouTube channel. Listen to it. It will tell you that what this very well-known, very prestigious reproductive endocrinologist who did the study, what he decided was, you know what? AMH and FSH are not a measure of a woman's fertility. They're only, listen to this, they're only a measure of how many drugs her body can tolerate. So if you have a high FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, maybe you're overstimulated, the body's going to resist. That's what happened to me. 100% that's what happened to me. So your main focus is get the herbs. You can look at the plan because you can download it. That's for self-care. Then get on the path. because you're going to need support. You're going to need support from Eileen and from me. You're going to need to be able to ask questions in the forum. You're going to need to be able to put a question into our Q&As and get a live question that we very carefully thought about. We're not diagnosing you. We're not prescribing for you. We're helping you on the plan that you started with, see where, as your symptoms change, what herbal formula choices you have to help you change. So this is an incredible system. It's been working now for 25 years. It was working before that, but my daughter's 28. So anyway, and so it's been working for 25 years with people all over the globe. But it is a different way to think of your body. You can leave the fear behind because your body is going to become younger. And you're going to feel it. You're going to see it in your skin and your hair, and you're going to feel it in your energy and your happiness. And that's not something that a pill can just give you or one herb can give you, but it's something that as you build the deep nutrition and as you do the techniques we give you to activate it, and believe me, I've made this plan so that it does not interfere with your life. It doesn't take over your life. There are little things you do, but each one of those little things, the 3 techniques and the other little things, they are targeted to help you move forward deeper and faster. So I'm not expecting you to have to be here to be taking things for a year or 2. I'm expecting that within 3 to 6 months, you're going to have the success I'm talking about. But that also depends on what kind of body you bring in. How many years have you been doing IVF or trying to do it? How many years have you been on HRT? It takes time for the body to release those excess hormones and to work again naturally. But it doesn't take as long as you think it's going to. And you'll see things happening that'll let you know that you're on the path. I don't expect you to sit here feeling like you feel now for even 3 months. You've got to know what you're looking for. And we're here to help you do that. But get on the path, because if you just try to do it with sending emails to the office, it's not enough. Because you're not going to be talking with Eileen and me, and there's not time to be answering long answers to long emails. So bring them in. Okay? So I hope this helps. I'm already reached out to those 2 people, and we're going to be talking about this and I'm going to be putting this, logging this onto the website, onto the path, so anybody who has these issues and wants to know about it can find it. Okay? And please let me know what you think. If you have other questions about it, let me know. And I will also post on the side the study that you can go and research and read. Okay? Don't worry so much. Don't worry so much. When you start to get results, you're going to feel more at ease. And don't try to not be stressed. You can't do that. Okay. Have a good evening. And thanks so much for being a customer. Appreciate it.